All right, guys, this is what we're making today. The Gemella Wallet by Simply Classic. Oh my gosh. So on the back, you have a phone holder with a snap. Very secure. I used a thumb lock. You can use a twist lock. You can use a magnetic snap. But I like the thumb lock or a twist lock. It's a little more secure than a snap there. You open it up and you have 8 card slots, 7 card slots, and an ID window. And then on both sides, you have 2 huge zipper pockets, fully lined for cash, receipts, keys, whatever you want to put in there. So this is what we're making today, the Gemella Wallet by Simply Classic. Go get the pattern and let's get started. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. I'm getting ready to do the Gemella Wallet. I've made, I think I've made 3 or 4 of these, and I really like them. But here it is. It's a pattern by Simply Classic, the Gemella Wallet. It's very, very cute. It's got 15 card slots, an ID window, 2 zipper pockets, and a cell phone pocket. You'll see what it looks like before this clip, but I'm doing it out of black gator croc. It's really croc, I guess. And some of her, actually, I don't get it from her, but wallet lining. She sells the self-adhesive wallet lining. And I got this at a discount because some of my friends and I bought a whole bunch of it. So we got 30% off. So we bought tons. So those are the 2 fabrics that I'm making it out of. So you need landscaping fabric for your credit card slots. You need number 3 zippers. I know. You need some zipper poles. And then I am doing a black on black ID. And then I think for this one, I'm going to try one of my slim thumb locks and see how it goes. I've never done it with a slim lock. I've either used a twist lock or a magnetic snap. So I think this will work good. We'll see. Oh, and you need a piece of clear plastic for the ID window. That's all you need. I am not going to put, this is going to be a wallet. It's not going to be a crossbody. But you could put tabs on it and put some D-rings to make it into a crossbody if you wanted. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is cut all our slots and our ID window. So I already marked for this. But next I'm going to just make all my little holes for my credit card slots, and then we will connect the dots. And I'll do this on silent. All right, so I'm going to do my flap and my little snap tab because I'm going to edge coat those and I want those to dry. So I put Deck of the Light on both pieces. And I'm just going to put them together and then do my stitching. We are going to trim these, so don't get too worried if they're not perfect right now. And then the same thing for my snap tab. I just put a piece of tape in there and I'm going to stitch around that and then we'll trim it. Okay. Okay. Let me clean this off with my, let me grab a wet wipe. Clean that off. And dry it off. And then we'll trim it. There is no interfacing in this piece. Although I probably should have put, I'm going to use a 14 millimeter snap, so it'll be okay. So there you go. That's the snap tab. All right, and then for this one, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, and then trim this up. Kind of hard to see because it's black on black. Okay. Decide which one side you want to be the outside. Really, it doesn't matter. It all looks pretty good. Okay. All right, let's put those aside, and I'll start the edge coating process over here. Next. All right, so next we're going to do our clear ID window, and I just have my clear, this has paper on the back. Tape around the ID opening. Get your tape off. The paper off your tape. And then we're going to lay that nice and even around our window. And then we're going to stitch all the way around. I am going to pull those threads to the back. Let me do this here. Okay, I'm going to pull that thread to the back. It's black on black, so it doesn't really matter, but trying to be very professional with my stitching. Okay. Hold on to your back thread so you know which one to pull. And I trim these even and tie them off. You do want to make sure that you caught your plastic or your clear vinyl. And I did. Okay, so now you have your ID window. The next step is to put your lining piece here. And we're going to make sure that we put that above that first slot. So put a piece of double-sided tape here. And I'm just going to put 2. And I am using the self-adhesive lining. I'm just going to leave the paper on the back just so there's consistency. So just nice and even above that first card slot. And then we're going to stitch all the way around again. Ooh. Above that card slot. Let me hold on. Okay. So above that first, man, it's going to be really hard for me to see. And I am back stitching here. I'm above that first credit card slot. And then we're going to come back down, and I'm about 1/8 of an inch from that first stitching. Just for aesthetics. Yeah, I think it just looks nice. Yeah, you can't even see my back stitching. That's good. I like it. So here, we just want to make sure that we caught this all the way around, and there, that's what it looks like now. It's perfect. It's perfect. Let me see if I have any threads to burn. I can't even see those. Okay. Next step. All right, so I have my tape on all my card slots, and what I've done is I put my tape below each card slot, even on these top ones, because when I turn it over and I open it up, I want my card slots all to be taken out the same way. Now you can do it opposite. You could have these coming out up and you can turn it around and these will come out this way. I personally, when I've used this wallet, I like it coming out the top, all of them. So that's what I did. So this one, going to take the tape off underneath and we're going to lay our card slot fabric right below it. Nice and centered. Going to turn it over and top stitch right underneath. And I'm back stitching. Oops. Hold. I did it under the first one and that just closed my ID window up. Don't do that. Do the next one. Oops. It's all right. I caught it before I went all the way across, so that's good. So you want to do underneath the second card slot. You know, I probably made the mistake of doing black, and because now it's hard to see it. There we go. Okay. Let's do underneath the second card slot. Let me find it. There it is. Another tip is that she tells you to mark a line up and down. I'll show you my line. Got black thread everywhere. So you know where to start and stop on all your card slots so they're nice and even. Really makes a difference. Okay, hold on. So once you get that on there, mark up from this bottom up and make a line. Add a piece of tape. And fold your card slot fabric down to that line. That is going to create that first card slot. Take the tape off the next card slot and fold it up, and always test your card slots. So here's my first one for my ID window, and here's my second one. It's perfect. Okay. Then turn it back over and stitch underneath that next card slot. Starting at your line and stopping at that line that you drew. I really kind of did myself a disservice doing black on black, but that's okay. Okay. Then with each subsequent card slot, you're going to measure up a certain distance. Put another little piece of tape. Fold that down. Don't pull it too hard, just nice and taut. Attach it to that line. Pull your next card slot or tape off. And fold that up and turn it right side and stitch. Let me find my next one. There it is. Okay, let's test those two, just so we're sure we didn't do anything. Yep, perfect. Okay, same thing. 1/2 inch. Oops, I just told you. That's all right. Chris won't care. Card slots are pretty similar in how they're constructed, so it's not a big secret. All right, let's repeat that all the way up. Okay, next. Card slots are fairly time consuming. They're not hard, but they just take a fair amount of time. Oops, I got to pull the tape off here. Okay, full disclosure. I had closed off one of my card slots, so I had to redo it. And then I didn't like how long they were. The card went down further. So all I did was just put a seam here and made each one shorter, and now they fit perfect. Just FYI, there's always a way to fix things. So now, I don't think this is going to be long enough, but we're going to try it anyway. We're going to start here at the bottom. You can always add to this, by the way. So we're going to put that right below that card slot. Turn it over and stitch. Then I'm just gonna, this time I'm gonna use my card. And I want that card to hang up about just like that. Let's see. Oh no, that's way too low. Let's see if that's better. Yeah, that's perfect. That's what I want. I want about that much showing. I don't want to have to struggle to grab my card slots, my cards out of my slot. So now we're going to stitch under the next one. Trying to see my... And I'm testing each one this time. You guys are going to want to do that. I'm just saying. Okay. So this one is perfect. Now this one, I want, oh trouble with the double-sided tape paper. It's because I'm using 1/8 inch. I'm telling you, that's why. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, turn it over and stitch under the next card slot. There. And then I do put a piece of tape here just to not get it nice and flat. Let me, hold on, I'm trying to get you closer. Same thing here. Perfect. Okay, let's test all three. There's 1, 2. Oh, and I did the same thing. I closed it. How is that even possible? Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. 1, 2. Yeah, I didn't do it yet. Okay. I'm going to add some. I got to get some more. All right, so here's a good lesson in what happens if you run out of card slot material. We're just going to sew 2 pieces together. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And I'm just going to trim, make that seam about 1/8 of an inch. There we go. All right. So, because that's going to happen to you sometime, don't panic. Don't panic. All right, let's put this in where we want it. Take our tape off, paper off our tape, I should say, and pull that up. Okay, let's see how it looks. Perfect. Turn it right side up. Stitch under the next card slot. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is our zippers. So I already did this one. I added my zipper tab and I cut off any excess that was on the back. And I'm going to do this one. We did fold down our ends at 90 degrees. Okay. So on this end, put it right sides together. And do your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Fold it over, create a nice little lip there. Nice and straight, and top stitch. Trim any excess on the side. Don't cut your zipper tape. Okay, perfect. There we go. So now you have two. These are number 3 zippers, so just FYI, they're number 3. All right, take the cell phone pocket main lining and your exterior. Put those right sides together, and we're going to stitch those. And we want to stitch right next to the decaville, which ends up being about a 1/2 inch. Don't stitch on the decaville. Okay. All right, now take this paper off your self-adhesive lining. Okay, then we're going to fold that back and down. Okay, then we are going to top stitch. So this is the cell phone pocket. All right, so there you have it. Now grab a ruler and a marker of some kind, and we're going to take out 1/2 inch squares. Out of each bottom corner. I know, feels weird, doesn't it? Works. Okay. And cut those out. Little bitty squares. Okay, so that's what you have on each end. Okay, next. So the next step is to add your snap, and I'm using a 14mm snap. And this portion is going to be the female portion. Oops, I need another. And I'm going to lift up my lining to put an extra little piece of decaville there. Just because. Okay. All right, so that's where that goes. I'm going to go press it and grab my snap part. So I'm going to do the tab, and I forgot to put a piece of decaville inside here before I stitched it together, and I've already got it edge coated and everything. So instead, I created a little piece of my vinyl and made a little washer. So I'm going to just add that right here. You'll never see it, and it'll go right here. So there's my other part of my snap, and you won't be able to see that washer, but it gives it just enough extra strength that it'll be fine. All right, let me go press it. All right, take your other outside piece with your decaville and make 4 markings, one down the center, one a certain distance from that center mark, one from the short end, and then one parallel to the bottom. Put tape on your foam pocket piece with your magnetic snap. And we're going to lay this foam pocket centered on this line. On the bottom. Okay. And we're going to stitch across that bottom line at just 1/8 of an inch. Very ingenious how she does this foam pocket. This is the cutest little wallet. Okay. So now you have your foam pocket attached on the base. Then take your tape off each side. Do one side at a time. And we're going to bring that into that line. Okay, so you're creating a little gusset here, I guess. And we're going to stitch down this line. And you know, I used 1/8 inch tape and it doesn't want to stay, so I'm just going to hold it and get it over. And back stitch good. Now we've created one little gusset. Okay, it's the cutest little thing. So you have one little tiny gusset here, and we'll pooch that out, but just like that. There will be a tiny hole here, and that's okay. Your cell phone's going in there. It's not going to fall out that tiny hole. All right, and then take your other side and repeat that. On that line. I haven't made this in a while. I forget how cute this is. Okay, so now you have a little gusseted cell phone wallet. It's just perfect. If you have any of your leather marks showing, just get rid of those. You don't want to leave those on. Okay. Next step. The next step is to put your little tab on and give yourself a little leeway because your phone's going to be in there. Okay. And so I'm going to give myself a little more than what I did. And then we're just going to base that in place. Just make sure it's straight. Okay. Let me grab my cell phone. And I'll show you. And I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max. There you go. And that is not straight. So I'm going to take that out. I'm not going to have that. It's crooked. It happens. Okay. So let's just take that out of there. And let's do that again. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a little piece of tape there. Just so it'll stay where I want it to. And I want it right there. But I want it centered. Nice and straight. Let me see. Okay, that's better. Let me base that in. Okay. Don't let things be crooked. Do them over. That's what I say. All right, so on my tab, which I now have edge painted, and I just left the black on there. I didn't put a top coat. I kind of like it dull. I needed to add an extra piece here for my flip lock, or my thumb lock, I should say. So I'm adding that centered right along the bottom. And then I'm going to add, you won't be able to see it. Actually, you can see it. Just a hair. Let me trim it up. Yeah, you don't want to be able to see it. So I'm just going to trim it. And then put it nice and even on the center. Perfect. Now you can't see it. There's a little piece of tape you can see. Let's get rid of that. There we go. And let's screw that in. Just makes it nice and snug. Otherwise, there's going to be a little gap, and you don't want that. At least I don't. Okay. So there's our little flip lock. I mean, thumb lock. Oh, it's going to be so cute. Now, the reason I went ahead and did that, because on the pattern piece, she shows you where to put for your magnetic snap or your twist lock, and mine's going to have to be lower, my other part, so that's okay. All right, let's do the next. All right, so take one of your zippers with your tab on the end, put tape on the top side. Here's your foam pocket. So this is the top side between two marks, and we're going to put that on face down between those two marks. Okay. And then we're going to repeat that on this other side. And I'm going to mark it from the center. Oh dear, and I didn't mark my center, so hold on. Mark your centers. Okay. Okay, and another piece of double-sided tape between those two marks. And you are going over your tab, I believe. Yeah. Yep. So this one, both zippers are headed towards the center. Just FYI. This is just a little long. There we go. Okay. All right, so then put another piece of double-sided tape across the entire top, and we're going to add our lining to that all the way across. Yeah. Just trying to make sure it's nice and even. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. And I'm going to do it from this side because I have a little narrower foot on that side. Just make sure your zipper pulls and everything are out of the way. Yeah, I'm going to have to put my zipper foot on to get a better seam. I mean, it's not bad, but it's a little wonky. So I'm going to change it to my zipper foot. Okay, I put my narrow foot on. I don't often use that, but that worked perfect. And I just went over it again and got a straight stitch. So now we're going to take off the sticky paper from our self-adhesive lining. That's what I'm going to do. And it comes off in pieces, and that's okay. Just get the majority of it off. Then we're going to fold that over, and I am going to trim my little snap tab here. Going to fold that over. Let's get it nice and straight. And bring that down. The nice thing about this wallet lining is you can lift it up if you need to move it around at all, which is really kind of nice. Because sometimes you do. Like right now, I'm just going to lift it up and make sure it's nice and straight. And be as finicky as you feel necessary. It won't be seen unless you open wide the zipper pocket, but most people aren't going to do that. But I still want mine to look nice. Now, if there's any excess here on the bottom, then you're going to trim that off. Okay. Perfect. Looks really good. So the next thing I'm going to do is put my flap on, because I want to put my other part of my thumb lock on before I do any top stitching or any of that. So I just put a piece of double-sided tape here, and we're adding it here centered. Oops, I need to center this. I thought I did. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. And then we're going to do 2 rows of stitching here. And 1 more. Okay. That way I can determine exactly where the other part of my thumb lock goes. Okay, so I can go like this and this. Okay. You want it to have a little give, so keep that in mind. Okay, that's where I want it to go. Okay. Grab my washer. And I am going to grab just a little piece of Decaville. Okay. Now you won't have to do this if you're doing a rivet magnetic snap, but I'm going to lift up my lining so I don't go through my lining. All right, let's put it on there. Make sure you get it on correctly. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. Put your washer on. Make sure it's straight. Perfect. And fold your prongs down. Just give them a little tap. I am going to use a little piece of fleece. or foam, whatever works, to cover up those prongs. So just like that. All right, let's put that down again. Get rid of the dangerous tools. And then just make sure it's good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, now we are going to stitch, top stitch. Make sure your little snap tab is up and out of the way. And we're going to top stitch across the top. There's a little piece of tape there. Just get rid of that. All right. Perfect. Nice. That looks really good. Okay. Next step. All right. So a couple things I've done is this is how it's going to be with these card slots on top. And I went ahead and put my tag in here before I put any lining on the back of this. And so you can kind of see if you fold it in half where you could put it. So it's kind of hard to see because everything's black. And then lay your two pieces like this. So your cell phone pocket is on the right. Your lining for your, oh, I got to get that off of there. Let's see, a little leather marking there. There we go. And your ID window is on the right, because when these are together, it's going to be like this. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Let's just see. Actually, I want it the other way. Hold on, let me just double. Okay, so for me, I want when I open this up, and you can kind of put them together, I want it to open up with my ID on the bottom, and then all my card slots are going the right way. So here's the top. So that's how I'm going to do it. You do you, but so we're gonna, I have tape across here, and we're gonna add that just like this on the raw side of our zipper, or the unsewn side of our zipper tape. And then I am going to baste it in place. Just keeping my zipper pulls out of the way. There we go. And if you're you know, 1/8 of an inch isn't, double-sided tape isn't holding it, just put a few pieces of clips. Now let's just baste that in place. And I highly recommend that you baste it. There's just tends to be a little bit of bulk here, and you don't want it getting off at all. Okay. Perfect. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. So we can kind of see how it's going to look. So here's the top, and I fold it like this, and then I clip it. I love it. Love it. Now, let's put our other and I'm gonna use some more double-sided tape across this side of our zipper, and this is we're gonna sew at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay. Again, if you need to add some double-sided or some clips, do it. Oops, my tape is coming off. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So now just sew that at the seam allowance in the pattern, which is a 1/4 inch. Just be aware where your zipper pulls are. This narrow foot really helps. All right. Then we're going to take the paper off. Sorry, hold on a second. And fold that back down. On the other side. And I don't worry about this part of the tape at all. Okay, let's pull that down. And again, finagle as much as you need to. Make sure your credit cards or your slots are nice and flat. Perfect. Okay, and then double top stitch next to your zipper. All right. Oh my gosh, that is so nice. This crock is very nice for this wallet, actually. All right, next step. All right, so put your wrong sides or your lining sides together, and we're going to sew down this side, across this side, and up at the seam allowance in the pattern. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm going to do it from this side. You know what? Let me check my bobbin. Oh my gosh. You guys. I almost lost the bobbin more. That would have been disastrous. Huh? Before you do top stitching, always check your bobbin. I don't always, and I'm very glad I did. All right, let's do it. Now we have enough bobbin. All right, now we're going to trim it, make it nice and even on all sides. Okay. All right. So I am going to use my rotary cutter. That's my plan anyway. And my ruler. It's a little hard to get it straight, but we're going to try. Yeah. That doesn't work because it's so thick. So I'm just going to use my nice sharp scissors. Yeah, that's not going to work. Let me grab my big scissors. Okay, perfect. And let's trim this side. Perfect. Oh my. And that is it. Now, you can edge coat. I might do a little edge coating. Let me show you. Here it is, guys. This crock from Simply Classic is perfect for this. It's not too thick. It's just the right amount of thickness. So there it is. Here's my thumb lock. On the back, I have my cell phone in there with my magnetic snap. It's perfect. You have two nice zipper pockets that are fully lined on both sides. And then I loaded mine up with cards so you could see how it looks. So here it is. You open it up and you have your ID window, which I just have a card there. And I put a bunch of cards in there. And I mean, I don't have anything in the pocket, so there's plenty of room to put more things. Now, if you want, you can add, and you can even do it after the fact, add 2 D-rings on either side to make it a sling. Easily. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. The Gemella Wallet by Simply Classic. You guys, go get the pattern and start yours. I do have 3 available on my website, including this one, for sale. Oh my gosh. And where I put my tag is perfect. It's out of the way of my card, but it's not in the crease. So you have 8 card slots, 7 card slots, and an ID window. You have 2 large zipper pockets. And then on the back, you have your phone wallet. Love it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.